Okay, guys, just before I re-add you, I just want us to be very brief because today we have network issues. This is a sensitive topic, and I've seen previously spaces that have tried to dissect it. I've had issues with network. So please, once you have the chance to speak, be succinct and precise. Now, let me add everybody who is online. I'll start with Kissinger. Chris, welcome back. And then the rest of the guys will rejoin and find us on the way. Let me also add Kissinger back as the co-host. Let's just check microphone. Kissinger, is your mic now okay? So are you laughing?
Yeah. Finally, for the first time today, I can speak. Thank you.
My brother, I don't know how things are being handled, but yes, everybody seems to be facing a challenge with their network. Maybe that will be explained by Chris. Chris, are you okay? Is your network okay?
Yes, my network is okay. One thing I wanted to know, these noob guys, the IT noob guys have always been bringing these every space, they bring it down. So that is, we should embrace for that. And that is other ways they've started fighting every discussion. They cannot hold a debate.
Fred will come and explain that to us. Dr. Labeja, are you okay? Is your microphone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. So I think maybe I will just try to reach out to Jago Fred, and of course I was trying to speak, but once he comes back, we shall just go straight to the trajectory of whatever is happening in the country. The trajectory of politics. 2026 is around the corner. Dr. Labeja, actually, let me go to my co-host since he had no chance even to introduce himself earlier on. Please do introduce yourself, my co-host, and then also give us your 2 cents of today's topic.
Thank you so much. My name is Kissinger Oriem, and I come from Kitgum. Have been in politics for some time. I am a soccer coach. I coach football, and I'm a social worker. Thank you so much for members who have joined. Today I was almost failing to, to get in. I tried for over 35 minutes. I couldn't really get in, which is a very big challenge. I started entertaining myself by watching how the new Pope Robert Francis, who chose the name Leo, was elected and he's making his speech. So that is how it is. But I am so grateful that finally I'm here. Respect to everybody who is here, Dr. Labeja, Mama, and the rest of the guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's take it on from there. From what has happened to the bodyguard of the new president, that's actually, they call him Principal Chagulanyi Robert, aka Bobby Wine. We had issues concerning Eddy Mutwe, his disappearance and reappearance. I don't know how that got you from where you are.
Yeah, thank you so much. I have been very engaged in the field, and if you have been following, I actually called you about the increasing cases of domestic violence leading to a number of deaths. So far, in the past 1 week, there were 8 cases of death in Agago. So I'm stationed actually in Agago for a bit to make sure that we have a lot of engagement and ensure that something is done about this. I heard of this over the news, and like the news for the disappearance. And it was really unfortunate that a huge person like Eddy can disappear. You start wondering how that happens. And then you start looking through how things has been happening, and you feel there is actually something wrong that probably needs us to hold discussions to agree that there are certain things that are not good enough for Uganda. You see, we need to have principles as human beings that this country is ours, and we need to share Uganda, even if we have different opinions, but we need to agree without hurting anybody that Uganda is ours and we can run Uganda together. So basically, that is my thought about what happened. It is very unfortunate that such a thing is happening in this era where actually people have a lot of knowledge and people have been going through a lot of humanity kind of like courses, and people should have really, like, even how the military is professionalized in Uganda should have actually taken away the animosity in them. But unfortunately, maybe the animal in them come and visit them once in a while, which is really, really unfortunate for this country. But we should love this country. Everybody who is trying to talk about things that are happening for NRM, or it's not only bad for Noob, it's bad for everybody. The hospital is not good. Not good if you have not stolen enough to probably fly away. So we really need to respect Uganda and respect Ugandans. This is our mother country, and we have equal rights about this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now let me hear from Dr. Labeja.
Thank you very much, Omagor, and all those ones who have spoken. I request that in our discussions we try to be honest, we speak really what is real rather than politicizing everything. All of us who have been seeing trending on social media, tweets after tweets, people are learning Banyankole under a basement and they are proud of it. Personally, I think this is not how Uganda should be. And to another extent, I would think the whole of the son of the president can't do like that. At first, when the tweets started coming out, I thought maybe they were jokes when the CDF have just started tweeting. Then, yeah, things are just becoming too much. I used to be a member of PLU. That's why I said Chris is my political, I look up to him. He's my mentor politically because he's the one who brought me into the field of politics. But currently, I think I don't associate myself with any political party for now. But I just want Uganda to be a Uganda where everyone is having equal opportunities and equal rights. Thank you for now.
Okay, thank you so much. I see Jago is back. Jago, just confirm that you are now able to speak to us.
I can confirm to you that I can speak to you, but I don't even know at what point you stopped listening to me because I was taken out by network and I didn't know. I went ahead talking.
Let me bring you up to speed, my
Yes.
brother. In your absence, first of all, Christopher Ochen said it is you, the NUP guys, who are cutting network these days, especially when we are talking about this issue of Eddy Mutwe.
What a shame.
So when you are talking about the chronology of events that happened to Eddy Mutwe, you actually finished it. So now we are looking at whatever happened,
Shame on you.
the contribution of whatever happened. I'll give you a chance to say that. The contribution of whatever happened to Eddy Mutwe to the trajectory of politics as we head to 2026. That's where I want you to pick up from. But you can still answer, Chris.
I will answer Chris like this. I want to say, Chris, shame on you. And I want to say, if you can speak like that, you have already lost your dignity and you don't deserve to be a spokesperson. Who controls the media of Uganda? Who controls UCC? Is it NUP? I don't want to go far. Members, I want to now continue with the silence of stakeholders in Uganda about these abductions. You see, a very known activist in South Africa, Desmond Tutu, who was Archbishop. I don't know whether you people still remember him. He said, if you are neutral in times of injustice, you automatically side with the oppressor. And if I can listen to what Chris is telling us, I just know Chris is already one of our biggest problem because he blames everything on the victim. And that is very unfortunate for this country. The silence of the Interreligious Council. First of all, I want to start by saying the church. The church has really disappointed me. The whole Interreligious Council of Uganda cannot come out with a statement. Why do we celebrate Jana Nilewom? This is exactly the kind of times that Jana Nilewom spoke in the 1970s against the Amin regime. Why do we go to Mutwe every year to celebrate him? We are actually making him turn in his graves. The cultural institution, we did not hear anything, especially at least the Buganda kingdoms, right? When the Katekiro came out to condemn the activities of the CDF. Political parties. I want to tell you, if NRM wanted to gain from this abduction, they could have even come out to completely distance themselves from this. Todwong as the Secretary General could have come and say, we condemn the arrest of NUP members. As a party, we don't have anything to do with that. But this tells us that now Uganda is not a democratic country because everyone fears the CDF. No political party except maybe even UPC. I did not see any political party apart from NUP that has already been affected directly. And lastly, the Ministry of Justice. Mao came late. He came late when Eddy Mutwe was already in court and he started blabbering, writing a lot of notes. And I like the ending part of Mao. He said that where there is absolute power, that power and law is always going constant conflict. I laughed. I said, so he knows. He knows exactly the situation of Uganda. But I strongly appreciate the Uganda Human Rights Commission. At least they surprised Ugandans. We never expected them to come because they have never come to our rescue. I thank His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi. He really struggled for this cause. Political activists, like some of us from this region, actually from Acholi region, I don't know if there's anyone who talked about this torture, except myself and a few that I know. And then you people in the media, we give it up to you. Without you people coming up, we are completely dead. I want to tell you, if it was not because of you people's exposure out, you can even listen when Mr. Ochian is saying he sees it from social media. I want to tell you, Mr. Ochian, social media is now the media of the people. How do you know that someone is in problem without social media? Leave alone your CDF that has a series of Twitter handles that we cannot even know which one is which. But all of them are always coming to speak the same thing. So I want to thank the media. At least they helped us in the way. And because he doesn't read maybe newspapers, this thing was in the tabloids everywhere. If you were not alive to this fact, then you were not in Uganda. Now going forward, what do we learn from this? I want to tell you guys, Museveni is now at his weakest point. That's what I want to tell you guys authoritatively. Because as president of the country, he did not even come out to speak about this. At least the Fountain of Honor could have come out to speak. Whether he was going to support it or that, we would have known that the president is alive in Uganda. But his silence was too loud. He could not speak. He could not do anything. He was quiet. That means that we even wonder if Uganda is still in the hands of the president. So I want to tell you, Ugandans should prepare for the worst. Because if these kinds of things continue, then what Niccolo Machiavelli said, that pain breeds obsession and obsession breeds revenge. Every day you beat a person, Mr. Ochen, get to know, every day you beat a person hands down, you are actually telling him to prepare to revenge. Unknowingly, you're telling him that. So I want to tell you, you will remember Amin used to say he was the life president of Uganda. Obote never thought that anyone would take him, would topple him. But where are they now? All of them are no more. I want to end by saying, let's all uplift the voice of Benjamin Franklin. What did he say? He said, for evil to succeed in society, it will take the silence of good people. Good people like Mr. Chris, whom I respect so much. At the beginning, I respected him so much, but he disappointed me. Good people like Omago, good people like Stella, good people like Kissinger, and everyone here. I see Mr. Bernard Loom is here. I saw Mr. Labeja Gonya somewhere. You people, this country is our country. If we good people cannot talk, I want to tell you, our country will go to the dogs. I don't know whether it's the dogs that came to our country. Thank you so much, Omago. I will come back if you invite me.
Thank you so much. Actually, let's talk to Rima. Rima, you didn't get a chance to say hi to us, but I want you to just give us your peace of mind in 1 minute. Also, please add your own intro.
Okay, I need to first confirm if I'm being heard. If I'm being heard loud and clear.
Loud and clear. For now, we are still winning.
Okay, let me start from facts. People have gone a little bit far with the discussions, but in Uganda, when you say I am opposition, you are against the Electoral Commission, you are against the Uganda Police, you are against UPDF, you are against every other forces that are around. What we just saw with Eddy Mutwe was a very bad thing, because I was trying to read the laws that were violated under Eddy Mutwe's section, but there are close to around 5 laws. One, he was just abducted, held incommunicado. You're supposed to produce a suspect by the next 48 hours, at least in court. He wasn't. He was abducted. It was until when we saw on the social media pages of the CDF, that was when we knew where he was. Did he get a right to a fair hearing? We didn't see that. He was just dumped, and his lawyers came, and then it was all disaster. His right to personal liberty is still being held. Up to today, Eddy Mutwe still wonders what exactly is the reason why he has been adopted. We have also seen a new trend of the state that since the general court martial was put on hold, they are resorting to high cases such as robbery, which can only be tried by the high court, and it takes you a lot of effort actually to secure bail. So that's where we are. I just thought maybe I should first start with that brief thing about Uganda, so that people get the real picture of Uganda. The PLU spokesperson was here, and he said he saw Nupians actually doing a march. That was head of mobilization chairman Nyanzi, and then Eddy Mutwe, who the suspect is I think one of the people. But I would like to take him back to what his leader said. In 1986, when his leader was swearing, he said the problem of Africa, actually, leaders who overstay in power. That was one of them. But in his subsequent talks, he has spoken about having no choice, that the government had cancelled everywhere. I am not calling for violence, but I'm saying, look, if those were the things you told people, and you are now the one who's breaking them, what do you expect people to do? Chagulanyi has always come out and said, I cannot tell Ugandans to pick guns, but I cannot stop them from picking up guns, because I would love the Nigerian government to sit back and look into themselves. Is this what they promised Ugandans, or the change they thought about was actually Chiwani? Looking into the trajectory of Ugandan politics is now what I'm speaking about. Where are we headed? People have felt that even if we vote, you have seen online, others are saying protest vote, others are saying let's boycott, because people are not happy with the way how elections ever conducted. One, there are lots of irregularities. Two, they feel they are being misrepresented. What I vote for is not what actually comes out. So those are the challenges we are facing. Now, people are looking for options. How can we take out this government? I'm not saying they should do it, but I'm trying to speak on a broader range and what is now in people's minds, because if we can pick what is online and then we put it on the ground, that is going to be an issue. But the problem is that time seems to be catching up with the NM government, because they have promised, they've done everything, but they're always breaking their promises. My thinking is that these human rights abuses are going to continue, most especially the new trend that now we have people in the NRM whose children are the ones who are taking over. That even NRM members are captured. They're also complaining, because there seems to be a new trend of the children of the people who are in power who are now taking over. And some of these children have been blinded for the last let me say for the last 30 years, NRM has been in power. They look at the state house and the state powers as if it is their inheritance. And that's why we are heading, and it has gone to monarchy. You've been seeing in by-election, someone dies, the son is brought to replace, the daughter is brought to replace. So we now have that system, and the trajectory, and what we are looking into is that on one side you have hungry Ugandans who want to get back the institutions and systems. On another side you have young people who are trying to transcend into this political position. So that is the challenge we are doing. What we are facing. If Eddy Mutwe has a case, as you claim, why torture him? Bring the right evidence, put it against him. But on top of that, Eddy Mutwe wasn't even abducted alone. He was abducted with 3 people. They kill their rights to liberty. They just comes, security comes and carries all of you. They take you there. And it's something that happened to Achileo, to Gaddafi, to General Musiri. All of them come on board and they just capture you. You don't know where you're going. The state denies, the police denies where you are. We were only lucky that this time when the CDF came and then he said, I have Eddy Mutwe. Otherwise, we would have never known exactly where Eddy Mutwe was. My name is Arima Gastin. I am a National Unity Platform member. And thank you for hosting me and having me here.
And also, thank you so much for speaking up and being eloquent. I'm going to go back to Chris. Chris has been raising his hand consistently. Chris.
Yeah, thank you so much for the second opportunity. One thing we should know that I don't like basing so much on rumors and then false statement. One thing we should know, how sure are we that CDF General Muhoozi was behind the Twitter post? He has almost 3 accounts. And there's nothing that confirms. And you know definitely, what if it was an admin posting that? Secondly, no confirmation from any security, either police, UPDF, or CMI, ISO, that they have come to confirm that they arrested, they kidnapped Eddy Mutwe. What if the other goons who arrested him to tarnish the name of the government? No statement has come up. So I hear all this discussion, but all are based on rumors, whatever. I've posted several things, and some people take it as something truthful. Let's not, because one, we have not confirmed where the CDF has come on live TV to confirm that we have arrested this and this and this particular person on this and this faults. So let's look at that from that perspective. No another multi-party or especially NUP, they should forget. This NUP, is it apologies or NUP something, how you call it, from northern Uganda? That only 2%, their views is strictly entirely their own opinion. If you are to move around and check out how many NUP supporters do you have in northern Uganda, especially let's look at Acholi. That's why some of these statements are null and void. So let's take that. No another politician will mobilize people to uprise and take this government. We already know that General Muhoozi is the next president. Museveni is coming to his evening, and definitely and the other 58% of the youth in the country, 50+% of the youth in the country, we embrace peace, we embrace security, we embrace livelihood and economic empowerment. We wouldn't want to see this country go down. That's why we will not allow either NUP or another party to take over. We have the process already in place. That's why some of us, the DRS, descendants of revolutionary armies, and those are the people, or the young men and women who love NRM, who love PLU, will put this country above everything. Thank you.
Chris, before you go far, let me just ask you this. I know you could be very close to the CDF, who is also your team leader at PLU. And I want to ask you, the handwriting that you see on social media from these accounts that purport to be his, does it look like his?
I cannot confirm that he is all for his PA. That I think I should be very clear. I don't have any evidence that means that it is a general. General MK is behind the tweet, or is the PA is behind the tweet.
Chris, I really need to ask this. Chris, you know what a PA is, a personal assistant, and personal assistant doesn't own the account. The personal assistants always say what the person really wants to be put forward. Can you confirm that the PA can post anything he wants, or is a person who is supposed to manage the account on behalf of the person?
From my perspective, what I know, the PA sometimes the PA can craft a statement and then confirms with the owner of the account. Like let's say that's why you hear these ministers. Like the PA for ministers can write a statement and then maybe minister confirm and says, okay, this is okay, drop it. So
in this context, what do you say? Because you are claiming it could be PA, but then we saw a message came, and then it is a message from everybody think it is the general. So what statement do you make on that?
I don't have substantive evidence to confirm that those posts were for the generals. What I know, the general is busy, the general is very busy ensuring regional peace, ensuring the country is protected. That's what I know.
All right, thank you. Dr.
Okay, Dr. Labeja.
Thank you very much once again. I really want Chris to speak with his conscience, not putting his conscience away, and we always speak the truth. And ideally, if what he's saying is true, then why is it that the CDF never came out to say that the tweets were not his? He was mute, he didn't, but he just kept on tweeting. Then I don't know if it was the goons who has been alleged by him to have abducted Eddy Mutwe and the groups were the one who also produced him in court. What we saw is Eddy Mutwe was produced in court by the police, which police is an entity of government, which still make it a legitimate or make it true that Eddy Mutwe was under incarceration at the basement of the CDF. So I don't know if we can come out and then clear those. Thank you.
Okay, please. Chris, take on.
Okay. One thing I want the panelists to understand that as security men and women, security group, police, army raised concern on Eddy Mutwe on what I read at my introduction on recruiting militia wearing military attires, which we know very the UPDF Act and the Constitution in Uganda that aligns with that. Personally, as Chris, the spokesperson who's the NRM 311 and the spokesperson for PLU, I've never put on any military attires unless under instruction or under training that we have undergone training, said these are military attires. But you have seen guys Noop have been parading. Eddy Mutwe, what if he was going for his party? What if he was arrested by goons and then maybe somebody came up with an allegation on him because there was serious allegation on him about assault, robbery? What if he was arrested and then even you guys are not sure about the case that has been filed on him? You should read the case that has been filed on him by the court, which has no attachment to either PDF, UPDF, or CDF. So we are all having this massive discussion based on allegation, which do not have substantive evidence. But what we know very well is it's on record, the NOOP and the militia recruitment. And then also the statement when it came out, this group of people who are wearing military attires, they have been recruiting either in Wakiso or wherever. One day they'll come before the court, which we should, I still continue, we should desist from wearing military attires, recruiting rebels, mobilizing people to cause uprising against the NRM government, which is treason. That's one thing we should know. So issues of issues of Eddy Mutwe, that has been very clear. We know it has been very clear. CDF has not confirmed. Army officers, UPDF officers not confirmed. Chris Mageza has not confirmed. So The card is no weight. Card is no weight to go and pin CDF that he took Eddy Mutwe, he tortured him in the chamber. Which chamber? Can they go and produce which chamber? Because these are all false allegations. Thank you.
Let me give a chance to Honorable Counsel Stella Kijange. From your own knowledge, the legal knowledge that you have, and also your interaction with the cultural leaders, how does it feel, the events that are happening in the country right now?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Honorable.
Well, this topic gives me a cocktail of confusion. I fail to identify myself. Where exactly I belong? Should I speak as a lawyer? Should I speak as a human rights defender? Should I speak as a politician? Should I speak as a CSO representative or a cultural person serving in the cultural institution? My colleagues in the X space, I would love to be objective, as shared with you before. I have so many faces, and each face at least has a position. But the only connecting factor is the fact that we're all human beings. And all human beings are equal before and under the law. That is one thing that we should all agree with. Number one, speaking as a lawyer, we should understand that taking part in an election is a constitutional right. And this constitutional right is a right of all citizens who have the qualifications to participate in it, be it as a candidate or as a voter, an observer, among others. And when we speak of citizens, we also have the state involved. So what is the role of the state in securing the rights of citizens to participate in elections? I do not wish to delve into what transpired. The first part of the question is talking about Eddy Mutwe, and then the other one is talking about elections. I don't want to delve much into Eddy Mutwe's case. We've all, whoever watches news, whoever is on social media, has at least read, has an opinion of what happened. But I will not discuss that because the matter is still in court. I'll only give my general view of the position of the law as regards protection of human rights. We see the state human rights obliges or requires that the state should ensure universality, equality, fairness, secrecy, freedom, transparency, and accountability during electoral process. And if these are happening, then the rights of citizens are being protected. I am not going to say whether our rights are being protected or not. You and I listening to this knows what is happening in the country, and as a human being, we all know what we stand for. And what I appeal to each and every human being whose right is being violated or feels that his or her right is being violated during this time is to participate. You can participate by monitoring the situation, doing documentation, or reporting whatever is happening. What we're doing now is a process of what is happening during elections. We need not wait until cases have happened, like Eddy Mutwe's case, and then we sit and we're on experts discussing that. Things are happening, good or bad. Let's not only report bad incidents happening when it comes to elections. Let's also report good cases that are happening. We, the citizens of Uganda. that are approaching elections soon. We started with the LC1. Have we discussed about the LC1 elections? We haven't done that. We are into Eddy Mutwe's case. But we should also concurrently discuss the good part of the elections in Uganda and then the bad ones, so that we're able to objectively give our views. I'm so happy that you're being considerate. You're giving equal access to publics, to political parties. I've listened from NUP. I've listened from PLU, which is not yet a political party, but at least it's a political association that we believe will soon become a political party, and the next government, according to PLU. And we appreciate the freedom of expression and association that you're giving them. We also appreciate the equal access to media platform that you're sharing. This is still, these are positive actions that you're doing. Let us not only dwell into the negative ones. Let's also consider the positive ones. Let's encourage the population or the wananchi to be conversant with electoral laws that are in this country. They should know their rights, their duties, and then what should happen once violations have happened. Let us not only focus on majority of us speak about the president. He's the president of this country, yes, but let us look at our rights as citizens. Our rights being protected, and if they are being violated, where do we go? What about our court system? Do we have hope in them? These are things that we should be discussing. I have listened to my brothers from National Unity Platform. I would encourage us to continue debating on issues concerning human rights violations and how we can address them. Issues concerning corruption in this country. Corruption that has infiltrated almost all systems. How can we work together? How can we work together as NUP, as PLU, as NRM, as DP, or as culture institutions, or as CSOs is addressed in this country? What about governance and administration? What can we do? We have seen tribalism happening. People speaking of, we shall train so-and-so to speak a certain language. Or so-and-so doesn't look like a person coming from a given region. How should I look when I come from a given locality? These are issues that I appeal to the young people to be discussing. Let's look at economic challenges. Year in, year out, northern Uganda is the poorest. Northern Uganda from West Nile, Lao, Acholi, and Karamoja, we are poor. Why don't we discuss issues that promote socioeconomic development instead of dwelling on something that has happened? The issue of Eddy Mutwe was sad, yes, but now Eddy Mutwe is before courts of law. Can we allow court to perform their functions? Can we leave it to them? And we discuss issues that are developmental or significant to you and I. Now, when it comes to human rights, it is something that affects all of us. We have so many institutions that can protect human rights, especially during this period that we are going through elections. We have the public, we have the media, we have international organizations, government authorities, and electoral commission itself. If we strengthen them through advocacy, through debating, the experts we are having here, year in, year out. Apparently, I'm attending a training on electoral reforms in Kampala, but almost every civil society is into capacity building, training candidates, training observers, among others, on electoral laws and what to focus on during this season of elections. monitoring, reporting, documentation, observing, among others. So can we focus on that? Let's stop the lamentation. Let's stop talking about, the president is now going, blah, blah, blah. You, what are you doing? What are you doing? My colleagues, what are you doing to ensure that even if the president leaves today or tomorrow, what have you done as a citizen of Uganda? One US president stated that, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. So I appeal to the young people, to the generation next of Uganda, that let's focus on enhancing civic space. I'm happy about the Northern Baraza. Let's address discrimination. Let's address, improve on access to justice, foster culture of human rights, promote accountability, freedom of expression among ourselves. In other countries, we're not even debating this. But let's appreciate that at least we have freedom of expression. It's from here that we can look for amicable ways of resolving conflicts among ourselves. As a cultural institution, we mobilize. Majority of people say that the cultural institution should not be part and parcel of politics or elections. But I realize that these citizens are subjects. And as a cultural leader, or let's say His Royal Highness, wouldn't wish that his subjects perish in an election, would wish that his subjects become leaders. He would wish that his subjects provide service delivery. His subjects who are becoming leaders provide service delivery to his subjects. You see that? This is the angle that most of us don't see. We are non-partisan, but at the end of the day, a cultural leader has subjects who should also serve their community. So we cannot run away from politics. We mobilize for government programs. Most of these government programs are rolled out to the community by leaders who are subjects in them.
Okay, Stella, maybe in 30 seconds.
Yeah. As I summarize,
then we can give, I see a lot of hands.
Institution, yes. We are involved to do awareness raising before. Please go and vote. Vote for your leaders. It is your right as citizens. Last week we had a training on malaria. There are some cultural institutions that don't allow immunization. Others don't participate in elections. But we are here to mobilize wananchi to participate. All of you, regardless of your political affiliations. Cultural institutions are mediators. We are peace builders. Conflicts arise during. Conflicts arise before, during, and after. So should a cultural leader just look on when the subjects are tearing themselves apart? Our role is very, very paramount. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Council Stella Kijange Lajiri, aspirant for Member of Parliament, Nwaya County. Now, Dr. Labeja, you raised your hand. Erima, you raised your hand. Jago Fred, you raised your hand. Let me start with Dr. Labeja. Okay, let's pass on to Erima.
Yes, I would like to confirm if I'm being heard loud and clear. Mr. Mago, I don't know if you're hearing me. Yes, I would love to respond to the PLD spokesperson. He was saying we should not base those tweets to General Muhoozi. So I think I would love to tell him that he who seeks equity must come with clean hands.
Augustine, your network is breaking. Augustine. Okay, maybe as we wait for Augustine, let's give a chance to Jago Fred. Fred.
Yes, thank you so much, Joseph. Are you listening to me?
Yes, you're loud.
I want to start by expressing my disappointment in the lawyer who just spoke. Madam Stella. I had a lot of hopes. I was expecting a lot of laws that were violated in the arrest of Eddy Mutwe to be enumerated clearly by the only lawyer we have on this Baraza. But I was very disappointed that she took it like she should just come like to come and calm the situation, which has already been worsened for a lot of years. Madam Stella, we have been in this for 40 years. I don't know if you forget that we have been in this for 40 years and you come to just teach people we have to do this, economic this, political. Madam Stella, we know all that. But the situation that Uganda finds itself in is the abnormal one now. You people need to help us to unpack every laws that are violated, and you tell the citizens where else to go. Because as you were telling us, you were even telling us PLU, NRM, NUP, all of us should ensure. But why should you even count PLU in this? PLU is not a registered party. You see, even PLU has even come unlawfully onto the political scene because a serving army officer, Madam Stella, at least you should be the one telling us all this. And then you are telling us that we should not talk only about the bird. But what is the topic today? Maybe wait next time if they talk about economy, then we are going to talk about economy. Today we are talking about the injustice, the abductions that is being unleashed on the people of Uganda. I was very surprised, and I am really sorry. I had a lot of hopes that being the only lawyer, you are going to really explain exactly the laws that were violated. You would really speak like a lawyer, but unfortunately, you made us to really lose the trust that some of us had had. Now you are telling us you are in a training. I hope that training changes your own mindset about Uganda. Because if you feel people who are comfortable should remain there, people who are being disenfranchised should remain silent. Because they're saying people should not only talk about the bad. Are you trying to tell us that you side with the oppressors? I want to really say I have been disappointed to the worst by the only lawyer on the platform. Thank you so much, Joseph.
Okay, Fred, your disappointment has been noted.
Mm.
Stella, do you want to say something in just a minute?
I think my brother is just his mindset is already locked. He cannot reason beyond what he witnessed. But I want us to be objective in our submission. I am not subjective. I stated clearly that what happened we all witnessed, and I won't speak as a lawyer because the matter is already in court. I'm only here to appeal to the young people that let's look beyond the bad things happening. Let's now be problem solvers. Let's not continue lamenting. The topic is very clear: Eddy Mutwe and the trajectory of Ugandan politics. Maybe my trajectory is different from yours. You should accept that. You should accept my opinion. Okay?
Okay. That's it. Erima?
Yes, am I now being heard loud and clear?
Yes, your network broke down. I think you just maintain one position.
Okay, I would love to start with Madame Stella. She's saying we should be positive and move forward. I think yes, the matter is in court. As a lawyer, you cannot speak about it, but that still doesn't stop you from speaking about certain basics about them, like how the gentleman has suggested about the human rights that were violated. It is as simple as that. For us to move forward, we need to first speak about some of these things bluntly. That's why Mr. Jago was earlier on complaining that he has not seen anyone issuing out a proper statement against the CDF's issues. What we only saw was after Katikiro complaining, they had to take Eddy Mutwe and remand him to prison. So for Madame Stella, that is what I wanted to say, that right now, if we keep quiet, we are going to perish. At least let's speak about the bad things, let people know the bad things, and then we move forward. That's the best way how we can change up a government and make it something that is very good. You are my senior. I'm just I'm I'm just a basic law student, but I was also disappointed because I came here and when I saw a senior counsel, I didn't expect to hear a lot from you. Moving on to the PLU spokesperson, he was saying we should not we shouldn't push the threats of General Muhoozi because it may be an assistant. We are judging me we are judging the General Muhoozi, but I would love to tell him that he who seeks equity must come with clean hands. General Muhoozi has always been involved in scandals of torturing people. If you read Mr. Kakwenza's book, the Barbarian, he alleges that General Muhoozi himself tortured him. It is the same ordeal that Eddy Mutwe gave, and it's not only that. He's even violating the computer misacts and is preaching a lot of hate speech, which is not good because it could lead to very very bad things. Now he can get away with it, but I can tell you if it is Jago who comes and makes such statements, the next time you're going to see CMI capturing him or he's being adapted, the next thing you may find SFC has surrounded him. But those ones in power who are doing that are able to run away freely. But then Uganda is for all of us. So I would love to tell him that to Mr. Chris that as he defends his job, he must know that Ugandans are not stupid. The Ugandans have been there from the era of Obote, and so all these things that have been from the era of Amin. What is his name? His Excellency General Museveni always keeps on saying that Amin was a bad president. He keeps on saying former leaders made a lot of past mistakes. He himself, he picked up guns because he said that all systems, if you have governments that have captured all systems, then citizens are left with no option other than fighting them. Now, the same things that he was speaking about are the same things that we're doing. When they used to complain about in the 80s, the government soldiers of Obote, it is the same thing that we are suffering from, and it could even be worse. At least we never saw let's say Obote like militarize even police. Today, if you have any simple thing in Kampala, you're going to see judge, you're going to see SFC, you're going to see the army. Police also seems to have been captured a little bit. So I would love to respond to the PLO spokesperson that Ugandans are not quiet. Yes, as you defend your bosses, but also try to be open to them. We are not saying you should not work. We are all trying to look positive as the youth of this country. We all want development, and that's why we are looking at a peaceful transition of power. That you say, look, you have knocked out two safeguards that could have saved this country. One were the term limits. Secondly, the age limits. You have knocked out all of them. Ugandans are feeling the only option they are left with is to fight for themselves. And that's not what we want, because right now, should anything break out, it's going to cost us, it's going to cost the youth their future. But we are saying, look, consider us the youth, put us into the systems, open up the space. The youth alone have a lot of issues. They have issues, unemployment, high taxation rates, education is bad these days. Shaboko students have just been suspended over fighting against the charges. Here, this is a government that says, okay, we're not going to have VAT taxes on education, but again, we are having regulatory charges like such charges. So everything seems to be contradictory, and everything is just contradicting itself. Yes, I would love to stop here, Mr.
Thank you so much, Mr. Erima. And Chris, I think you have a few things to note down and give us a reply. But let me also give a chance to whoever wants to say something. Please, if you can't speak, you can just write under there. I will be able to read the messages. I saw Levi, I think you are struggling with network. You're connected and then you went off, but I see you're back on. Let me resend you an invite to speak so that whenever you're ready, you just raise your hand and then you'll be able to speak. Or Tim Kisa, your network, I don't know whether you are able to speak, but if you're able to speak, kindly take the mic and speak to us. Okay, I think Tim Kisa is off. But let's first get this on a round table. Let's get back to Oriam Kisinga. as my co-host, you've actually had the interaction that's ongoing, and also the fire that has been directed at Stella. Honorable Stella, I think some things did come out very clearly there. Kissinger.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joseph. I would like to thank the speakers for bringing up their opinion. I appreciate it. But now, when we are looking at some of these issues, the topic reads Eddy Mutwe and the trajectory of Ugandan politics. And if we are looking at issues like these, I think it is very, very important to put that as an example of what is going on. Because it is supposed to guide us. What is the trend of the country? Where are we going to? You know, it is not that this is the end of every discussion. No. Supposing that continues to happen, what will you say? You know, just like I said in the beginning, this is our country. Okay? We respect the law. We respect everybody in the country. And we respect the leaders. We expect the leaders to also respect the local people. And people should express themselves. There is freedom of expression. Okay? Now, there has been so many things that has gone bad. We should agree that in Uganda, people have made mistakes. NRM has made mistakes. And also, there has been some portraying of kind of like a military sort to not only to nuke. I have seen this kind of, kind of like people having a gang, like sort of putting on uniforms and all that. This has been happening. It didn't just start with this. Yeah. But now, in the end, what do we want our country to look like? I feel this is the right time for us young people to start speaking the right thing. If we cannot speak the truth, then how about the children who are coming after us? I heard my brother Chris is saying that they are gearing up to the new government, which he sort of said the new president. He already knows the new president, which is very interesting. What kind of Uganda do we want? Do we want a Uganda whereby there are a group of people who suppress others? Or do we want a Uganda where just because you are in a political party, you can't speak for yourself? When you are in a political party, there are party rules and party laws that guide. Okay? But it doesn't necessarily guide that you must support everything, even bad things, just because you want a good name. That is something that I failed to do. I respect political parties, but I am a human being. It is human beings that makes those political parties. And therefore, even if we are having the opinion, you should not speak because you want somebody to like you. And that is the wrong thing that is very common in Uganda. We talk because we want somebody to like us. And deep down inside our heart, we know we are wrong. And this is what mostly happens. Clapping hands where you're not supposed to clap. You know something is not right. And then you go ahead to support. Because when you look at these uncertainties, it scares people. Why would you, like all of us are probably at home right now. Do you think you would feel at home when you are scared from home? You won't. So let us give space for people to express themselves. If somebody has gone extreme, they are police. The police should arrest. There are several instances where you see the army swings in to arrest, But I think the police is there. If we really love our country, let us be mindful of what comes out of our mouth. Because the words that come out of our mouth will come back to haunt us because we said it. And when you say things without love for the country and love for yourself and love for the future of your children, then you must know that you are actually brewing something that you'll have to drink later on. I don't think from the time we were growing up, I don't think Uganda has been the same. There has been development. We don't refuse that. Okay? There has been certain things that were done right. But of course, the wrong things we have to talk about. Who should talk about the wrong thing then? If all of us want to be praised, all of us want to do things just because we want to be seen. I think we need to start really appreciating that all of us move around with our head because we are supposed to think for ourselves. If we are not to think for ourselves, I think God would have put our head somewhere else so that you borrow somebody's head and you keep carrying. So, and I remember Honorable Mao said that if you think driving on the left is stupid, drive on the left while holding the sign that driving on the left is stupid. But, you keep driving on the left. That means you don't break the law simply because you think the law is wrong. But you protest against it by doing the right thing. And we are doing the right thing. We are talking about something that we feel it is not right for our country. And if somebody is going to condemn me because I've spoken something I feel is right, then that is my opinion. There are opinion that doesn't align with what is on the ground. That is why we are complaining about, certain assertions. Because what you are talking about doesn't align with what is the truth on the ground. And such kind of assertion makes us question your integrity. What values do you attach to life? What values do you attach to the society? What values do you attach to the country that we love, that is Uganda? So basically, Joseph, that is my wonder. Sometimes I think the nature of Uganda, of tokenism, has actually ruined the potential capability of the academia in people. Because even the most bright and clever and well-educated people seems not to do little things that our parents taught us to do, to speak the truth, to be honest. If we can't do that, then it is very unfortunate, But for the love of the country, let us try as much as possible to be honest to ourselves. Thank you.
Honesty is very crucial in leadership as well. Tim Kisa, your network went off, and I don't know whether you are now able to speak. If you're able to speak, please just pick up the mic, then tell us your opinion, what you think. Then also, of course, we're talking about politics. 2026 is coming. How should we trade?
Good evening.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, members.
Good evening to you too.
I'm called Emmanuel Pio. I'm a poet. I've quite attended this space for some period, especially when I'm out of school. Allow me to thank Omago, my senior journalist, Oriem, and Chris. He was trying to talk about the network, but some few minutes I was also attending Agora's space, and it was the same issue. I think when we are talking here, we need to respect someone's opinion. That's one. Two, Northern Baraza is always on Thursday. Now when you speak here today, tomorrow you leave because Kissinger talked something which touched you. You feel or you felt offended, or someone talked about Kissinger. Kissinger felt offended. Kissinger left. If you had to check right now, people speaking in the Baraza, we are very few. Meaning, if two people move away from the Baraza now, who are we going to have on the space? I want to tell you this story. Then you use it in a way you want to use it. My grandmom was a witch doctor. That is before receiving a salvation in the early 2010s. And I would love to say this because automatically we would, receive visitors who could come automatically with their stuffs, that's chicken or what, and
I can't hear him speak. Is anyone hearing him speak, Joseph?
No. I can't hear him
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, I think we lost him again, and the network glitches has really been affecting today. It is very unfortunate. But I think we can. Time has already also gone so much. I think we can be looking at recap. I don't know what Joseph think, but we should be recapping.
Yeah, I think we can do a recap, and then also there are people who tried earlier on to raise their hands. One of them is Levi. Levi, I don't know whether you are able to speak to us at this point. You can actually, put in your opinion. And then maybe also let me get back to Chris. Handle the few questions that came in concerns. Maybe in about 3 minutes, so that by 10 we are out of this place.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate everyone who made the submission. And we should know that we have different views, and it's prudent for us to respect the panelists. As we know very well, Battle of Uganda stands on the key important lines that we should really observe. One, we want to fight nepotism, we want to fight corruption, we want to promote environmental protection. We look at aspects of peace and security, which is very important. But also we should note that as patriots, Ugandans are different political parties with their supporters. Recruiting or inciting individuals to betray the state, forming militias to threaten state, or inciting actions such as attacking NRM people, Ugandans, in all possible ways, these all amount to treason. We should desist from politics of violence. We are coming toward the political period. Let's be very vigilant. Let us not cause all sort of violence on registrars, election officials, the candidates. Yes, we could be having different views. We must respect. If the voters have elected opposition, we will respect and work with them together. So I feel like, especially this northern Uganda, the northern part of the country, the Acholi region, and Uganda at large, we should embrace peace. The best we can do for our country, yes. This country, the president has been very democratic. NRM has been one of the best democratic parties ever. The government in Uganda has been one of the most democratic governments in the entire Africa, because we exercise every process, every election, right from grassroots up to the presidency. And we have seen, of recent, we also saw evidence coming up when NUP rigged the election in Central. And the president took it lightly, did not even go to the court. But we know it won by percentage, and that's something we are looking at. We are peaceful. Let's promote peace. Let's speak peace into this country. Let's desist from this sort of hooliganism, protest, violence. Yeah, SPLA, we are the next party. We're the next. We are looking at General Muhoozi becoming our next president after Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That's why we have very beautiful ideologies. We respect people's opinion. We respect people, even the people from the other side of the bridge. Those are the opposition. We respect them. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, Chris, for your submission. And I don't think there is any hands up. Dr. Labeja, would you want to say something before we make a closing remark? Yeah, I see my brother, Principal D. You can go ahead and speak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I just wanted to comment on Chris. Of course, you say we respect people's opinions, which is true. But when you listen to Chris speaking, you can really see that he is totally disconnected from his top leaders. Like you have a case of torture. Because I see the heading here is Eddy Mutwe and the trajectory of Uganda politics. You have a case of torture, and the torture victim is in prison, not in hospital, but you still want to use a lot of explanation to blame the victim. This was massive to the extent that even the Dead Human Rights Commission had to come out and issue an order which we all know will not work, because the person boasting to have committed the torture is a son to General Museveni, is literally above power or law or any constitution we have. But if to the extent that the Dead Electoral Commission, Human Rights Commission as we know it, had to issue an order, Norbert Mao, in his captivity as we know it, had to issue outwritings. Of course, he's also blaming now the judge who oversaw the case, why he had to remand a clearly tortured victim, and he's not actually blaming the one who caused the torture and owned it. So you see, what I'm trying to say is, Chris, this issue where we see that it is, we may assume it is isolated, but the issue with this system is it knows how to always come back to you who is supporting it. It always comes back. The latest occurrences of General Eluelu, I think you are aware that he has been pushed under forceful retirement, meaning he's soon going to pay for whatever he did to the people of Kasese. So you have to be very cautious when you mock people who are undergoing suffering, torture, and you want to blame them, and you want to come up NUP militia, forming a militia group, and you clearly know what you are speaking is actually nothing related to law. With the current system we have, with the current system we have, and you know that these people are against the law, you think this government would just sit? The issue is, let us not mock torture victims. We should all condemn torture to the highest extent that we can, because tomorrow it will be you. I don't want our brothers in northern Uganda to assume that we are now safe. Because we were in war for 25 years. You can't begin assuming that out of the blue, we are now the safest in the country. It is a lie. Because you are very much aware of the land grabbing that is happening there. That is all injustice. You don't talk about security where people's land are being grabbed, where your court system don't work. That is not peace. Peace isn't just the absence of active war with guns. You understand that there is an ongoing active war that is happening, even if with not with guns. You understand that? Chris, I would expect you to be in a par, trying to bring peace, because you clearly know that the problem of Inapa is typically brought by the government. So as you support your person, we respect your opinion, but you need to speak up to power. Sometimes you don't need to just praise everything you see around. I think Mr. Moderator, I submit.
Right. Thank you so much, Prince Odi. We will go to Dr. Labeja. We really need to close the space because we only have 8 minutes. Dr. Labeja, if you can use maybe 3 minutes, and then we go to my brother Fred to have his closing remark as well, and then Stella. Yes, Dr. Labeja.
Thank you very much for giving me a chance once again. Personally, listening to certain submissions really provokes people and makes you become emotional. And you can hardly think if we would ever have the Uganda we desire, where everything would work for everyone. I'm not surprised. Chris tells us he's the son of NRA liberator. So it means they have also inherited their parents' properties or positions. So we should speak up. They say if a young boy gets to fight an elephant and the elephant kills him, his poverty ends. And if he kills the elephant, also his poverty ends. So the time is now. We have nothing to do than to speak up because of what is wrong. And we should also be ready to pay the price for speaking up. And if we don't do, we may not be the very people to suffer, but our children or our children's children to suffer. So that is my conclusion. So let us speak up and we do what is right. We have the conscience, but we are failing to use it. We should not just be speaking because of money, like some people have said, or to protect their job. I remember last week I read out a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. He said that you may be 39 as he happened to be, but one time when a great opportunity comes before you to speak up for something, to defend certain things, and you refuse to do it because you fear you may lose your job, as the spokesperson of PLU in Northern Uganda or in Acholi sub-region, you fear someone is going to come and kill you. You fear you lose influence on a given position. Yes, you may live until you're 90, but you're as dead at 90 as you'll be at 30. You're as dead at 38, but an earlier death of the spirit, but a belated annunciation of your death. So the time is now. Let us speak up and then we get back the Uganda we want. Because what is on ground is autocracy and then patronage. That's what I can say. That is the state of Uganda at this point. Thank you.
Hello. Dr. Labeja. Colleagues, network has been a little bit messy, but I think if you can hear me now, I want to say thank you so much to those that have actually participated, those who joined along the way as well. As we have our final remarks, let's start with Jago Fred, and then we shall have Rima, then we shall have finally Stella, and then we call it a night. Yes, Jago.
Thank you, Joseph Mago. As I conclude, brothers and my sister, it is certain that our country has regressed into the circumstance of the 1970s during Amin's regime. I speak with pain because the people that I expect to be speaking authoritatively to power cannot now speak. It is very clear that they cannot speak. That means we are on our own. Like Chagulanyi always tell us, we are on our own. I am so happy for Erima, so happy for Prince Podi, so happy for Dr. Labeja. I don't know how to pay you guys. My only problem is that if we talk from here on this X space and we stop there, then we have not yet done anything. Because people like, I don't see him online now, people like the PLU spokesperson, these are people we cannot now count on. Their conscience has long gone. They are here for survival. You can even see he's telling you that they have to inherit their grandparents' struggle. Their grandparents were there in the bush. For them, they were not yet born. Now they are born, they should inherit everything they fought for. I want to tell you, Utafire said it clearly, that he is not against General Muhoozi becoming president. But if he thinks that he is going to come just freely by taking over the father, then he should forget it. That is a very big statement from a person who fought together with the father. A very big statement that most of the people defending this regime still cannot see. If Muhoozi decides maybe to force himself on the people of Uganda, we are going to see the country going back to 1986. There will be bloodshed. And some of us do not wish for that. That is why we say every able-bodied person who is awake to this should speak up. Start from your immediate environment. If you can speak on X talk, if you can speak in your circle, speak. But I am so ashamed that the people that we count on cannot help us. They're about survival. I now want to say and say, Uganda is only one. Acholi, Baganda, Banyankole, we cannot now go and start our own country. That means we have a task. We have a task. Somebody said each generation should, out of obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it. I don't know the people who will betray it, but I am among the people who are struggling to fulfill this mission of liberating the country. I am going to contest for Kidgo Municipality Member of Parliament. It is not about winning. It is about advancing the struggle. If we win, that means the message would have gone. Thank you so much, Joseph. I have not been part of this, but you can count me on. You can count me on. The next time we have it, I can always be available.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate, I really appreciate your contribution. I appreciate all the different views. It is how it is supposed to be in a baraza like this. Then at the end of the day, we all agree that we have one Uganda. Erima, your final shots? Okay, I understand network has been a challenge for us. Let's have Stella, your final shots in a minute.
Yeah, thank you very much. My brother, Jago, do not be disappointed. Do not lose hope. I must agree that the human rights situation in Uganda has been very poor. That is on record. But I challenge each and every one of us to look forward. Let's look at steps through which we can limit. We may not end it in a day, but let's look at steps to ensure that there is independence and effectiveness in institutions like judiciary, parliament, and human rights commission, that are bodies that are there to protect human rights. We should also focus on making institutions accountable, institutions that can investigate and prosecute human rights abuses, including those committed by the security forces. This is what I challenge Jago and the rest of the members here to be doing. Yes, it's true to identify a case study and look for avenues that we should do to address them, but not to continue lamenting on one. My issue is just one. Let's look forward on what we can do to improve them. For example, protecting freedom of expression. You've seen journalists during elections who have been harassed. Why am I having some echo here?
I'm not so sure. You just conclude.
All right. As I conclude, journalists' freedoms should also be protected. We should promote access to information. We should respect and protect rights of all citizens of Uganda and prosecute all these cases. We are happy that amidst what happened, prosecution is happening. Eddy Mutwe has been brought to court and he will be duly prosecuted under courts of law. It is unfortunate that it happened, and we appreciate that much as it happened, he has really been courts of law, and that is what we should focus on. Condemn what happened, but now we should all put our hands together and focus on Thank you.
Thank you very much. Levi, I've seen you've tried, gone on, off. Would you want to say something, because we're coming to an end? And if you're going to say something, please keep it within a minute or minute and a half.
Sure. I've been having issues with the network. Thank you so much, moderator. In a short time, I would like to make a small comment. The problem is that I did not get the proper from the beginning, but I've been trying to understand the topic. But then, let me make a comment on Eddy Mutwe. So many people are asking questions. Why was he arrested? Why was it this? Why was it that? How many of us don't remember that they did certain things in Masaka, and that body for the journalists made compensation for the journalists who lost their property during that assault in that burial in Masaka. The question is, if there was no damage of property or destruction of property, why did the national, that body that embodies the journalists make that compensation to the journalists? So they had buried certain things under the carpet, but now they are coming up. One thing that Ugandans should not forget is that no case or no crime can get old. Crimes will always, if you commit a crime and the authorities keep quiet, don't say that crime has been forgotten. They can even keep it for 10 years and they will bring it back. So whatever you are doing, put in mind that we are not in a jungle where there are no laws, but even in jungles there are rules of engagement. So let's be mindful of our language and our actions. Thank you so much.
Okay, Erima?
Yes, am I loud and clear? Mr. Omago, maybe you can confirm for me if I'm loud and clear. Alright, to start with Mr. Levy, the previous speaker, from just his his profile, I don't need to speak a lot. It actually speaks for him. But I would love to remind him that that they have always brought up such cases against people they have arrested. I can give an example of Dr. Kiza Besigye, his rape case in 2005. They produced a lot of witnesses against him who were not even there. So we have been seeing these things that are not new. There's nothing that you're going to tell us, and we are going to believe if it is true. If you say Eddy Mutwe like committed issues, why don't you call him to police? Tell him, okay, this is the reason why we're arresting you. Why do you have to abduct him? I'm sure Eddy Mutwe is a sound Ugandan, and if the police writes to him, they tell him to report, he will go there and they explain to him everything. Why do you want to work? Like the Black Mamba days? So that is wrong. My 2 points. One, we have to fight for rule of law. That why should certain people break up laws and they're above the laws, and others suffer? That statement that Mr. Muhoozi made. Have been taken. You find parliament is all off. You find the judiciary system is all off. But above all, every generation has a mandate, to fulfill. This is our generation. We the young people can fight for our own generation. Maybe just say something. I would love to wish Jago all the best in these elections. I would love to wish Stella. I think she's a aspirant. I also wish her the best. And also, Mr. Mago, as you cover up, we have seen journalists being assaulted. We continue to pray for you that you learn some physical skills. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Maybe your network is so bad, we can't actually hear what you're saying. Okay, thank you so much, Stella. Thank you so much, Dr. Labeja, Levi, Rima, Jago, and I want to wish you all the very best. My brother, Riam Kisinga, actually was unable to complete. His network completely cut him off and he was unable to join back. Team Kisa, thank you so much. Everyone who has contributed. It's been, a bit sensitive. People have been trying to hold back their hunger, but that's understandable. But we all want the best for our country. Let's keep talking as long as the freedom of speech is granted to us. Thank you so much. May you all have a blessed night. We shall come back next week on Thursday at 8 p.m. and have the Northern Baraza. Good night.